Population. What do you mean by the population? Population is a simple definition as you use in your daily life. Total number of people inhabiting a specific area, or total number of people living in a particular area. This is known as population. Okay. Now, what are the factors that can influence the population? Okay, remember we are talking about influence, some kind of effect. It could be positive, it could be negative, but this is not the case of the discussion. The topic is that factors must affect the phenomena. So what kind of phenomena we have is population. So what are the factors that can influence the population? Number one, birth rates. Getting? It's a very easy thing that can change the pattern of the population. If the birth rate is increasing, then what will ultimately happen? Population is increasing, mean there is a change in the population. If we talk about that, why different country have different birth rates? Number one, living standard. If you have a very low kind of a birth rates, okay, it's mean the people who are living in that particular area has a very good living standard. Okay, they just wanted to maintain their life quality. That's why they don't give more birth to, or give more, or don't want more populations. So improved quality and the availability of food, housing, clean water and medical care result in a fewer babies dying. Okay, so if you have a very high quality, you will see that death rate is very short. Then customs and the religion. Many religions beliefs don't allow the use of a different kind of a pills, okay, or you can say other stuff to protect the kids, or to protect the birth rates of the kids. So because of that reason, you can say there is a slightly change in the population. Like if you talk about the Pakistan, people believe that that they can birth to the kids. It's their rights. It is some kind of a permission given by their religion. That's why you would see that in every in every years there is increase in the population. Like if we talk about the China, India, like if you combine them both, China and India having population above 1 billion, okay, and they are expected that in 2056 that 1 billions will hit to 10 billions, okay, because of that particular reasons. Then change in the female employment. More female is developed countries entering the labor force had result in falling the birth rate. Like you can say the women who are working in an organizations, they give uh, lesser birth to the babies, okay, because they are working women. And the women who are living or who are staying at home, they don't have other words but to give the birth to the kids. Getting my point? They only have entertainment ways to give the birth, okay. Then marriages. In developed country, people are tending to marry later in the life, so birth rates have reduced. But in Pakistan, like in Asian country, you would see that many people, marriage within the age of years, like 16, 17, and what they can do, they just give birth, and birth, like rebirths. Okay. Then death rates. The number of people who die each year compared to every 1,000 people of the population, the death rate of an economy. So death rates and other reasons to change some kind of a pattern of the population. Okay. Now, what could be the reasons for differing death rates in a different economy? Again, living standard. If people don't have a very good life quality, the death rate, like you can say very good medical facilities, good water, foods. Okay. If they cannot afford, you will see that people will die because of so many diseases. Okay. Then medical advancement in the healthcare, as we already mentioned. Then natural disasters in the world. If you see that the area where natural disaster is a very common thing, okay, the death rate will be high. And if you are living in an area where war is a common between the country, then you would see that there is too much death rates. Okay, so these are something that can affect the death rate. Then net immigration. how net migration refers to the number of people entering, this is known as immigration, and leaving, it's immigration. Okay, the country net immigration measures the difference between the immigration and immigrations to and from an economy. And net inward immigration will increase the working population. If people are coming into your country, it will increase the population. If they are going to the other countries, it will reduce the population. Now, what are the reason why net migration in different economies? Again, living standard. Like anyone who is sitting in Pakistan, he wanted to go to UK because of better living standard, employment, wages, and climate. They have very cold or very warm country regions will face more immigration than other countries. Now, the next topic is population structure. How structurize your population. The structure of a population can be analyzed by age distribution. Like in Pakistan, 60% population is young, and remaining 40% is, you can consider them in a older age. If you talk about the Ireland, the 60% people are older, okay, and remaining 40% are the young one. Now you can see the difference that Pakistan have a huge young generation. So the number of people in each age group, falling birth and death rates mean the average age is developed countries are rising, whereas the developing and less developed economies, high death and the birth rate will result in a low average ages. Now, a high dependency population, like high dependency population mean the people who are older one, such as in Japan, put pressure on the government to increase the tax rate in the order to raise more revenue to support the dependent, putting pressure on the labor force. Like if you have too much, you can say older people or the older population, okay, they can't even work. What ultimately happened that government need to support them, government have to support them. How government will support them? Government will increase the taxes to the young workforce labor, and ultimately you would say it will be more burden on the workforce. And what they will do? They will leave the country. Getting my point? Now, consequences of the aging population or the old people population, the workforce will decline. There is no young one who can do much better work. Okay. Then increases demand for the products for old people, including healthcare. Okay. Then the government will have to spend more on housing, old age welfare scheme, etc. Of course, we have too many older people, so government need to have to support them. Then they will invest in the welfare scheme. Then old people are less mobile, and so the economy will be slow to adopt new technology. Okay. Then